fatality. From there, we then activated our criminal investigation division, which they did come out.
At this time, GPD is working to identify who the victim is. They're also asking the public to please come forward if they witnessed or saw something along the Route 1 area by Challen Polly Ramon early this morning. An autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
An off-duty police officer was arrested for DUI following a crash that occurred near Polaris Point in Pidi on November 14th. The arrest of 24-year-old Jose Valenzuela again follows a follow-up investigation by Highway Patrol. Earlier this month, Uggan was initially charged with assault on a peace officer after kicking a responding medic in the groin and slapping another in the face. On Wednesday, he was arrested on multiple charges to include reckless driving while impaired, reckless driving with injuries, speeding, and unsafe lane change. He was booked and confined. A 52-year-old man was arrested for arson. According to a GPD media release, 52-year-old Fred Agigi Uggan Jr. was arrested in connection to a criminal mischief complaint filed on November 3rd. Police had responded to the Agania Shopping Center that afternoon. The arrest was conducted with assistance from the Guam Fire Department's Fire Investigation Section. Uggan was recently arrested last month, accused of repeatedly beating a hearing-impaired man on multiple occasions at a home in Ordat, Chalanpago. For this recent case, he was booked and released. In Superior Court today, Joyner Sked and Rudy Kanata appeared before Judge Vernon Perez for a pretrial conference. At this time, attorneys are awaiting the test results from the crime lab. The items being tested were not specified, but should be ready by Monday. A continued pretrial conference is scheduled for Tuesday, and December 22nd is the potential start date for jury selection. Sked and Kanata were charged for the murder of former Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez in April of this year. After pleading guilty to second-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony, Retin Rusan will spend the next 15 years behind bars. It was back in April of 2019 that both Rusan and Ermina Sukiol sexually molested a 12-year-old minor. Sukiol has served nearly 3 years in jail, and based on the input of the victim, he will not spend additional time in prison. Prosecuting attorney Rochelle Canto said this 15-year sentence puts the community on notice that alcohol does not excuse the defendant's atrocious conduct. For every heinous crime, there must be a commensurate punishment. Both defendants must register as sex offenders. Village mayors have more than $50 million in American Rescue Plan money coming to them. That's according to Congressman Michael Sinicolas, who had some harsh words about the governor, who he contends has been less than honest about who the funding is intended for. Nestor Lacanto reports.
In a news conference, Congressman Sinicolas said the Treasury Department has confirmed that under the ARP law, there is separate funding for states and for local government subunits or non-entitlement units, such as counties. In Guam's case, it would be the villages, with funding going directly to the mayors.
This is where things get really, really strange. The governor was saying the administration, their officials, and you folks in the media actually interviewed them. They were saying that the county money isn't going to the mayors because it's supposed to go only to Guam, and the NEU funding is supposed to go to the mayors. But what Treasury is being told is that we don't have NEUs, and that money should go to the county allocation. And so the question remains, where's the mayor money?
Sinicolas says the governor is going beyond just ignoring the spirit of the law.
A lack of transparency is one thing, but a deliberate attempt to obfuscate and to mislead is another. And right now, absent any kind of evidence to the contrary, the communications we're getting from Treasury are actually contrary to what's being shared with us by the administration. So it's like they're backwashing the entire local funding amount, the 32 million and the 17 million, and they're scalping it and putting it into their own $553 million pot to balloon it into a $602 million pot.
He says mayors need to step up and demand the more than $50 million he says is due to them.
As elected officials, the mayors have a duty to their constituency to not worry about whether they're going to piss off the governor or not, and go and bang on that door. Go and bang on that door, and I'll bang on that door with them.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
We reached out to Automotive for comment and are waiting on a response. Meanwhile, Congressman San Nicolas is also critical of the governor's lack of transparency over the millions of dollars she said she's putting aside to build a new hospital complex.
Our local leadership has been told, our people have been told, our media partners have been told over and over again that we're waiting for some guidance from Treasury, and Treasury's not giving that guidance. So there is there's a serious lack of clarity, to put it nicely, on why exactly this money continues to be held up.
Treasury officials have advised him that they will not be issuing any further instructions on project spending and that state governments should work within the framework of the current guidance. San Nicolas says if that's the case, the governor has no reason to set aside any money.
There's no specification that these funds can be used for the construction of a new hospital. So I don't know why we're being told we're waiting for Treasury guidance when it's very clear that that guidance is actually not forthcoming.
He says instead the governor should use the $220 million she's setting aside for the new hospital on other pressing needs. Speaker Therese Terlahi is also calling for more transparency from the administration. Here's more on her thoughts about the recent unveiling of the investment Parahamzu plan.
The legislature waited for months to find out how the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration planned to spend millions in American Rescue Plan money.
From the start, they don't want to release a plan. From the start, we tried to give them a plan and they say, oh, thank you very much. We're going to work with you. And we really haven't seen much work with you.
What they did see was a 20-minute video of Governor Leon Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio unveiling their investment Parahamzu plan, a $3.5 billion compilation of all federal assistance available to Guam, and not just ARP funds. It also includes the use of local money.
We've had to go through an entire budget process without a plan on how $600 million in federal funds is going to be spent. It is an incredible, I think, lack of transparency and an incredible lack of collaboration, right? And collaboration is maybe not necessary in some of their minds, but it doesn't work for me.
The speaker also commented on the governor's recent comments at the National Governors Association meeting.
NGA for me has been a very strong driver and influence. Like, look how we were discussing about the ARP, and one of the things that we wanted is for the governors to have discretionary power over the ARP, and that happened, right? We were given, and I'll tell you, my senators in Guam are very upset because they cannot appropriate the $596 million that was given to us.
They can joke all they want, but if the legislature is responsible for local funds, for example, general funds, they have hundreds of millions of dollars, and now they want us to take general funds and put it into some programs that they refuse to fund out of ARP.
The speaker is and has been asking for more details about the governor's plan, but she continues to wait.
We're really living in the FOIA days, it looks like. Unfortunately, I just don't understand that.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Joining us now in the heart of Agat at the Skinner Plaza is our Hannah Devanzo, who is at the opening ceremony for this year's Electric Winter Wonderland Christmas. How's it looking over there, Hannah?
Tyler, we are here at the Winter Wonderland display show. I have Communications Director of Automotive, Crystal Paco, with me. Crystal, what is going on tonight?
Happy Day Hannah and Happy Day Guam. We're here at downtown Agat here at Skinner Plaza, and we're just moments away from flipping the switch here at the 2021 Electric Winter Wonderland light show. Actually, you could probably count down with us. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So tonight marks the official start of this light show. and we invite the family to come down every night. We have special showings, special light shows from Thursday to Sunday, every half hour, so you can come down. There'll be something new every time when you come down and see. Thursdays, tonight especially, come down and get dinner for your family. See the bright lights, and also get vaccinated. We have a special COVID-19 vaccination clinic here because we want the family to get vaccinated. No greater gift than protection and feeling safe this holiday season as we gather. So moms and dads, bring your kids down, bring their birth certificate and bring your photo ID and get vaccinated. Again, there's nothing more that says nothing better than to bring in the holiday season than the light show.
All right, and this will be going until January 8th. Make sure you come down with your family and your friends and enjoy the holiday season. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
As you could tell, a lot of excitement going on in the island's capital. Thanks so much for that report. Once again, that was Hannah reporting live from the Electric Winter Wonderland display in Agat. You can catch it from now until January 8th. Special light shows will be featured in 30-minute intervals every Thursday to Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And before we head into the break, KUAM and Coast 360 are kicking off the month of December with Making Spirits Bright. We want to see videos and pics of your Christmas trees, decorations, and yes, holiday photos. Make sure to use the hashtag Making Spirits Bright Guam on Facebook or Instagram. Check out these images submitted by the St. Augustine family from Mongmong.
Half a day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at eoa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Our family was recently challenged with a difficult medical condition where my son needed a liver transplant, and I asked Cabo Select Care to assist me with that, and he required off-island care. In fact, it can only be taken care of off-island. So Cabo Select Care was there to help with all the referrals and the off-island coverage.
Calvo Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants, enroll today.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. The Joint Information Center Wednesday afternoon confirmed 3 more COVID-19 related deaths. The 264th COVID-19 related fatality occurred at the Guam Regional Medical City on November 26th. The patient was a 68-year-old female unvaccinated. She tested positive on November 10. The 265th COVID-19 related fatality occurred at GRMC on November 30th. The patient was a 36-year-old male, unvaccinated with underlying health conditions. He tested positive on November 20th. The 266th COVID-19 related fatality occurred at the Guam Memorial Hospital on December 1st. The patient was a 54-year-old female, unvaccinated with underlying health conditions. She tested positive on October 29th. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention have confirmed the first case of the Omicron variant in California. At today's press briefing, public health officials shed light on the new variant. Daniel Perez reports.
We're watching what's going on. The problem is we don't know a lot about it yet because they're still studying whether it affects people who are vaccinated versus unvaccinated. They don't even know how severe it is or if people die when they catch it. So they're still studying it, and we might know more in a couple of weeks. But they do know that it has extra things on the spiky protein, so that's why they're worried about it. And it seems to be very contagious.
Territorial epidemiologist Dr. Ann Pabutsky speaking on the Omicron variant, which has been classified as a variant of concern. Public Health Interim Chief Medical Officer Dr. Bob Leon Guerrero shared the same.
There are some hints in South Africa anyway. There's increased risk of hospitalizations in children with this new variant. Whether that pans out to Europe, whether it pans out to the U.S. or Guam, we don't know yet. But it is concerning that this seems to be making more children hospitalized, so more sick than the previous variants.
Although cases continue to decrease, Dr. Leon Guerrero continues to urge the public to get their boosters and vaccines, especially with the holidays coming up.
We still need to make sure that we still, until it's really out, that we continue to wear a mask, wash our hands, social distancing, and encourage people that are not vaccinated to get vaccinated, and encourage parents of the 5 to 11-year-olds to try to get their children vaccinated.
With Omicron now spreading worldwide, Chief Public Health Officer Chima Mbakwem confirms that the consolidated facility for quarantine and isolation is still being worked on. There is no word yet on when it will open, and the CDC team currently on island is still investigating the DOAs, along with keeping a watch on the new variants. Daniel Perez reporting for Guam's News Network.
The CNMI reports 103 new positive cases of COVID-19. There are now 493 active cases and 7 active hospitalizations. There have been 667 new cases since October 28th. 86% of the eligible population are fully vaccinated. According to CHCC, of the 103 new cases, 50 were identified via community testing and 53 via contact tracing. The vaccination status of the 103 new cases are pending verification. The total case count in the NMI since March of last year is 958. In regional news, the Commonwealth Healthcare Board of Trustees will not move forward with a regulation that would mandate COVID-19 vaccination for school children. Our Tomas Menglotnia was there and has the details.
The CHCC board voted not to move forward with a regulation that would mandate COVID-19 vaccination for school children. It comes at a time when schools are gradually reopening based on a COVID-19 testing schedule.
It's a lot of things to consider, but again, we're always looking at the big picture of what is the end goal, what are we trying to achieve, and we're not taking anyone's rights away, we're not taking any of their parental rights away or anything like that. I think our role is more to help keep our community safe at all times.
They'd like to focus on a public education campaign and gather more data as the rate for youth vaccinations increase. Over 2,000 kids have gotten vaccinated. Over 4,000 12 to 17-year-olds have received the shot. Hospital Chief Esther Muñoz says Vaccinations increased as news of the surge was first reported.
The expression from the comments are more about, and they're not even anti-vax, right? A lot of them even say that they got vaccinated, but it's, I think it's the idea of mandating it is the biggest concern.
They may revisit the matter if circumstances change. The discussions were triggered after the governor asked the public school system to look into the mandate, and PSS in return consulted the health board.
A lot of kids want to be vaccinated because they want to go to school, they want to be with their friends, they want to have a normal life, and they see what's happening, they see the news.
Some lawmakers in attendance urged the board to conduct more public hearings on Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda if they ever plan to move forward.
But we think that public dialogue at this juncture would be really helpful, and having said all that, I also want to make clear that we fully support vaccination and fully support and commend your efforts in making vaccination available in the schools.
Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Saipan.
Attorney General Levin Camacho says there would be challenges in pursuing criminal charges relative to a recent Port Authority of Guam resolution seeking criminal charges against former Port GM and current sitting Senator Joanne Brown. Port GM Rory Respicio transmitted the resolution, which grants Respicio the authority to pursue criminal and/or civil charges against anyone who has received an allegedly illegal retroactive raise, which the port alleges Brown did. The AG's office in a statement, however, said, quote, "We anticipate challenges to taking criminal action, for example, statute of limitations and burden of proving knowing or willful misconduct." The statement also said the matter is under active review. Senator Brown, meanwhile, has said that only Port Board members had the authority to give her a raise, citing law which says those who authorize retroactive raises are in violation of the law. Department of Revenue and Taxation Director Daphne Shimizu was the guest speaker at today's Rotary Club of Guam meeting at the Hyatt in Tumon. She highlighted the agency's many accomplishments, like creating an online portal, among other things. Shimizu also gave an update on the Economic Impact Payment, or EIP's amount paid out to island residents to date.
And so I didn't talk about EIP2. EIP2 was kind of a shorter time, we had a shorter time period to pay EIP2. But for EIP1, we paid a total of $151 million. EIP2, $79.2 million. It was a little bit of a different structure. And EIP3, we've paid $224 million. So this altogether is about $450 million just in these payments that we have processed from April 2020 through September 2020, actually through to date. So.
Shimizu also talked about the advanced child tax credit. To date, about $43.8 million in advanced child tax credit have been paid out. Sports is up next with Dave Delgado. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
What are you doing? What? Just reminding him I serve my breakfast sandwiches all day and all night with freshly cracked eggs. Try my 2 for $6 double bacon breakfast sandwiches.
all-new Hyundai Tucson.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Roll call for this year's ESA All-Island football selections for offense. Let's take a look at some highlights while I run through the list. At center, Roman Sablon, GW. Guards, Avery Gamboa from Guam High, Brian Hayes from GW. Tackles, Richard Borja from Southern High, Arnold Rokop from GW. Fullback, Randy Ngoko from Guam High, Jermaine Molo from JFK. Utility player went to Vance Meno from FD. This year's punt returner, Benjamin Harris from Guam High. Running backs, Kyle Gogui from FD and Aiden Lumba from Simon Sanchez. Quarterback, Aaron Johnson from Guam High. Tight ends, Isaiah Tapasnia from Southern High. Robert Raras from GW. Wide receivers, Jake Cruz from GW. Benjamin Harris from Guam High. Kicker, Alex Sojo from FD. Kick returner, Jake Cruz from GW. Now for this year's MVPs, an exclusive from Clutch Guam. In programming news, you know we always got you covered. Tune in and catch all of your NFL action right here on the stations of KUAM. Monday, December 6th on KUAM TV 11, 4 in the morning, NFL on CBS, LA Chargers at Cincinnati Bengals. Keep it locked to KUAM TV 11 at 7:25 in the morning. More NFL on CBS, Baltimore Ravens at Pittsburgh Steelers. Switch it over to KUAM TV 8 at 11:20 in the morning. NBC Sunday Night Football, Denver Broncos at Kansas City Chiefs.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
You are everything that matters to me, and I promise to do whatever it takes to keep you healthy, to be comfortable, and to be free. I love you. As long as we're together, I'll always make sure that home will always be our best place to breathe.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday
everybody.
Club.
Happy birthday on December 2nd to Anna Marie Parish Cruz, who celebrates birthday number 3 today. Your family is very, very proud of you, and they all love you dearly. And Maria Tayano. Viva cumpleaños, Maria. We hope your day is as special as you are. Happy 22nd birthday. Much love from Mom, Dad, Tony, Derek, and the rest of the family.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. And that's all the time we have here on Primetime. Thanks so much for watching. Good night and be safe, Guam.